Hello everyone. Today I am going to uh, discuss with you all how to predict the price of Boston housing. For that we will first import all the necessary libraries as needed, and then this sklearn is very much useful for the machine learning algorithm. So we make sure that you import all the necessary things, and then this is the first phase of our program. Like, we have to first load the data set, and for that we just type this command, and then we will print Boston dot description r. So this is like DESCR. So it will give what are the number of instances, number of attributes. It will describe everything. You can go through this. So these are the attribute information. Okay, so these are the attribute information, and kindly note that this thing, like lower status of the population, there's two things you have to mark, and RM stands for average number of rooms per dwelling. Okay, then we put the data into a single into a pandas data frame. For that we will just give the input and the column names, and it will appear like this. Then if you want to know anything about a particular column, then we can just put the name of the data frame here, and then we select like which column we want to know about. So we will just give like H, the thing which we need. And after that, for the target, we will create a separate data frame, and then next step is to like okay, before going to this, I will describe how to calculate the minimum value of the target and maximum value of target. So it ranges from 5 to 50, and as we have created separate data frame for features and targets, so now our job is to concatenate both of this. And since we want it to be concatenated by column, so we will put x is equal to 1. Then we are concerned about the visualization process. So df.ascribe dot round decimal is equal to 2. So what it will do, like after decimal it will round off to every values to 2 decimal digits. Then we find the correlation between the targets and the and attributes, and in this way we find that correlation. And then if we want to like graphically determine which attribute has the highest score, then we can just put our coding, and we can just select the bar coding to show which attribute gives the maximum correlation. So from here we get to know that LSTAT give the maximum correlation, and after that RM gives the next highest correlation. Then we will just normalize the data. For that we select like x is equal to df LSTAT values, y is equal to df target dot value. That means we give x to the values values of LSTAT and y values of target, and then we do the slicing operation, and we just see the target values of up to first 4 values. Then we use the min max scalar, then fit transform, reshape, all these things we use, and then we split the data into training and testing. So for testing size, it is ideal to select 20% of the whole data set there. That's why we have used like 0.2. Now for the gradient descent part, update function, error function, and gradient descent function, these are 3 functions. So for that we will first define the error function, then update function, then gradient function. So here for our simplicity we are multiplying the learning rate later on, or otherwise we can do here only, but for our simplicity we are multiplying it later on. So it returns the values of the slope and intercept, and then we define the gradient descent function. We initialize the slope and intercept, and we create an empty list for the error values and empty list for the MC values, and after that we will append these values like append.mc append MC. We will append it later on. So if the error is less than error threshold, then it will stop the gradient descent process and it will break, and then it will append the calculated error value to this list, that the empty list. Then for the descent function, so this is like anytime init say learning rate iterations, we all define this, and then the training model is given by x train, y train is determined by the blue color, and this predicted values are given by the red color. So you can see that a predicted value is going down, and it is going through all the cutting all the points, and after that we calculate the error function, and we see that we get the minimum over here. And after this section, if we increase the number of iterations, it will have no effect on the error. And then we predict the error by this formula. Then we calculate the mean square error. So this is the mean square error that we are getting. This is the least mean square error that we will get. Then we will put all these things into a single data frame. This is the common for this. And after that, what we will do, the x test, y test, this is the given by blue line, and the predicted one is given by the red line. And then this is the reshape -1 -1. So -1 1, this is done to ensure that there is one column and other dimensions is automatically calculated. So then we, after that we perform the inverse transform, and then this we just convert it into a data frame where x test scale, y test scale, predicted scale, all these things are there. And if you compare, like this is for a given target, given input, the target value is coming like this and predicted one is coming like this. So this difference is coming because of the error which we get from the algorithm. Like this is the error which we are getting. For this error, this deviation is coming. So that's all about it. In this way we can calculate the price of a house. Thank you, all of you.